Hello everyone, welcome to a new video of the indicator store of the series Do It Yourself. Today we are going to review one of the most used indicators and also one of the most useful, and it is the MACD. The MACD uses exponential moving average. As you know, there are several types of moving average. The most used are the simple moving average and the exponential moving average. Like for example, if we have two exponential moving average on Ninja EMA, one fast and the other slow. For the fast, for example, 17 for the period in color red, and for the slow 34 in blue. As we can see, it is obvious when the market is going up, the fast line is over the slow line, and when it is going down, the fast is below the slow. So something logic is, okay, let's trade the crossovers, like here for example, or here. There must be several crosses here, not so evident, but this one is the most visible. The problem is when the fast moving average, the faster the moving average, also the noisier, the most the less smoothness of the line. Now, what is doing the MACD? The MACD takes the distance, calculates the distance between the two moving average, and then draw a line with the value of that distance. Let's see an example. The EMA has three parameters: the fast moving average, the slow moving average, and the smoothness. By now, let's leave the smoothness apart. With the one is like not using smoothness. So we set the lines that we have on the chart, 17 and 34, and what we get is only one line, the MACD. Here there are two lines overlapped, the MACD and the average, but the average is overlapping the MACD because we selected a smoothness of 1. Now, before going that part, this value, the size of the MACD, is that distance. The same value. If we look at the scale, this is the exact size. So the crossovers are when the MACD crosses by 0, like here or here. On this area where it is not so evident, we can see it more clear. There is a cross below and then a cross above the 0. If we make a zoom, we can see where are the crossover. But with the MACD it is more simple to detect. Same here on this area. We have a cross to the upside, then one to the downside, and instantly another to the upside. This one is more visible here. This is the MACD, the distance between two exponential moving average. If these two moving average were simple moving average, we have an indicator that does exactly the same, but with simple moving average. And this is the Weissman oscillator. It is included with NinjaTrader, this one. The only problem with this indicator is it has no parameters, so we cannot edit the periods. But the periods are 5 and 34. So the lines are representing exactly the same, the distance between two moving average. On the MACD, they are exponential. On the Weissman oscillator, they are simple. If you want to check by yourself, add two simple moving average. One, the fast is 5, the period is 5 in color red, and the slow is 34 in color blue. And to avoid any confusion, let's hide the exponential moving average and also the MACD. So we have the two simple moving average, SMA 5 and SMA 34, and this distance is the value of the Weissman oscillator. As you can see, that distance is almost zero. Here we have a crossover, this one. Then here we have one cross to the upside, this one. On this area, maybe there are several crosses. And one of the most common setups on the awesome oscillator is looking, for example, a place where the color of the histogram, the first time that the color of the histogram is green, but being positive. Okay, so the MACD is positive, it is decreasing and then increasing again. Makes sense, because the idea is, because this distance is positive, it means that the fast SMA is over the slow SMA, so the market is going up. And also, because the MACD is going down, it means that the distance is decreasing, but then the distance starts to increase again. So it is a movement in favor of the trend. Okay, because the red line is over the blue, the distance is decreasing, and then it starts to increase again. It is a pullback. And exactly the same we can do with the MACD, with the advantage that we are using exponential moving average. The exponential moving average are faster than SMAs and not so smoother, but they are faster. So let's remove again. Let's go back to the MACD, exponential moving average. Because the MACD has more lines. By now we have only the MACD, but the MACD has also an average. And by now we have several setups. We have the crossover by zero. The crossover by zero happens when the fast crosses the slow. But we can also repeat the same pattern that I described with the awesome oscillator. The MACD is positive. By a moment it decreases the distance and then starts to increase again. The same here, going down, going up, but it is positive. So this is the place where we get a long signal. The logic is this distance is positive, it is increasing, then starts to decrease, so the lines starts to increase. The red line starts to come closer to the blue line, but then goes away, okay, in the direction of the trend. So this is a pullback, and this is the moment where we enter a trade. But we can do even more with a MACD. Like, for example, let's use the smoothness. With a smoothness of 1, the MACD and the average are overlapped, okay? But let's use a smoothness of 10 bars. So to this line, the MACD, the distance between these two lines, we smooth with an exponential moving average of 10, and then we get that dashed blue line. This line is the average of the red line of the last 10 bars. And now what we have are even more possibilities, because when a line crosses its hour average, it means that the trend is changing, like here, for example. So what it means, because the line changing the trend is not the price, it's the MACD, and the MACD is the distance between two moving averages. So what it means is this signal. It means that the MACD crossing with its average, so the MACD is changing the trend. So if this distance is increasing, at certain point it stops to increase and starts to decrease. Okay, so the trend has not changed, but they stop to go away one from the other. But that doesn't mean that they are going to cross, but this is just the beginning. So because this signal at certain point is going to cross, like here. And as we can see, the MACD has also a histogram. And what is that histogram? Is the distance between the MACD and the average. And we can use it to detect those crossovers, because when the diff, the plot diff or histogram crosses by 0, it means that the MACD is crossing with the average. Which is the fastest signal that we can get from this? We can make this average the closer as possible to the MACD. We cannot use 1, because with 1 both lines are together, so the minimum is 2. It is difficult to visualize, but if we do this with a program, we can detect, we can create signals indicating when the trend is changing or when the red line is crossing with the blue. This indicator has a lot of uses, as we can see. The MACD, as we were mentioning before, can be a little noisy, even when the fast moving average is quick or fast. So for this setup, maybe we get some fake signals, because if we look in detail, here we have going down, going up, so we have a fake signal, and then again going down. This is the original, but we have another signal here because it's going down and then going up, so it is noisy, but it has an average that we can use. So if we want to replicate the setup of the continuation or pullback using the MACD, instead of using the MACD, we can use the average of the MACD, the second line, the blue line. So let's use a smoothness of maybe 3 bars. Okay, so both lines are almost the same. And now we can remove the red line. Let's make it transparent. And now what we can see is a completely smoothed version of the same setup. So we don't have more noise, and this is the perfect moment where to enter. So this is a very good signal using the indicator MACD. In a future video, we can see how to automate this with builder and also markers. By now, we can leave this here, and just as a comment, we can create, as we saw, the Weissman oscillator uses the same logic but with SMAs, but not allowing to change the periods. But there are even better moving average, like for example the HMA. So we can create a MACD using HMAs and then try to replicate all the setups that we have described. For those who are interested in NinjaScript programming, we have training sessions. For more info, you can go to the chat room that we have on Discord. The instructions to log are on the description of this video. Again, the access is free. Thank you everyone. Bye bye.